Hello my quilting family. We're here today with the block number 3 of our coffee themed sew along. Now this adorable fabric was given to me by my friend Marilyn, and I believe she got it from Nancy's Notions, so you might want to check their website if they still have some. Or you can sew from your stash and your scraps, because create, like if you want to eliminate Mount Scrapmore, this is a perfect scrap buster. So what I've done today, I'm going to put all the cutting instructions in the show notes below for this block. And this block will be unfinished at 9.5 inches and will finish at 9 inches in a quilt. So some people might have mentioned that they didn't really understand how to sew all of the little bits and pieces together from block 1 and 2. So today we're going to show you how to sew it all out and put it all together, right? So I'm hoping that you'll enjoy this and you'll give this a try. So come on over and I'll show you how it's done. Okay, so I've got all my pieces laid out the way I need them to stitch. This is the saucer in the bottom. This is the cup body. This is the handle and the sides, right? When we're sewing this together, we're always going to start with the flip and stitch seams first, right? Because I need on my machine a different stitch. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take them and I can go across these seams pretty quickly. I'm pretty confident about going straight across on a smaller block. If you're not and you have to draw a line, draw your line or iron or whatever you need to do to make this happen. Just remember that one goes one way on the handle and the other one goes the other way. Same on the saucer as well. Okay, so now I do all my flip and stitch first, and then, okay, move that out of the way just a hair. And I might as well run this little one through because it's there and I can do it right quick. Okay, the other saucer, there, the other saucer now goes, and we do the stitch and flip on that too, right? And these are supposed to be fun, Now what I do is I line these up and I cut. I'm pretty confident these are going to be the right size, but I press them open because this is where all the bulk is. And I just take my nail and I run it along like that and give it a good press there. And again, I press open. I hope you can see that. So you can see what I'm doing. I'm pressing open again. And I just, here we go, just like that. And that little bit that goes in between, I press open as well. It lies, this block lies flatter because there's so many little seams right in this area. Right? So, it's almost better now. I'm going to change feet. See my 1/4 inch foot. Some people don't use their 1/4 inch foot. I find that I sew faster with a 1/4 inch foot than I do if I have to, go through something. So I'm just going to roll this one back. Roll this back, the top. Okay, the top of the handle in the middle of the handle. I'll just put it together and I try and match up my corners best I can. Now these are pretty big triangles that I'm cutting off. And what I do when I need a break, or like I can't keep continually sewing and I'd have to use a plug, what I'll do is I'll keep these here and then I'll make a little hourglass out of it. And I'll throw that in my abandoned block bin, because why not? I make all sorts of weird little things. So there's my saucer. And I'm going to do the next little bit. Okay. And the next little bit. I'm just folding them down. So starting now to work on the body of the coffee cup. Oh, I'm going to put these two together while I'm here. I'm just going to line them up again so I don't mess them up. Hang on. Here we go. Just like that. If you finger press them like this, what happens is that you're lining them up. It's much easier to press them with an iron. And use your clapper if you have one to make sure you get a really good press down. And there, I'll pop this open. There, take this one, put it here. Okay. Now, this is a really easy block to sew. And it's a nice size, right? I like I actually like 9.5 inch block. They're easy to handle, they're easy to put together usually. They're not too, well, depends on I guess what your pattern is, but they're a nice size to actually work with. Now that I've got the entire body done, just before, okay, I've got the entire body done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece here and sew it to the body. Right? And I'm going to put this under, this piece under. Okay, so this is the body of the cup, right? And this is the side piece, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the side piece and I'm going to put it on the bottom because I want to make sure that these points lay open. Okay, so normally you put the bigger piece on the bottom. But I have pretty good feed dogs, so I don't worry about that. And I'm going to make sure my handle is all in good shape. Now, I've designed these so the handles don't line up with any other lines. So, there's my handle. And I'm going to get my body of the coffee cup off. So I'm just going to run through my little half square triangles that I cut off the saucer portion. Okay, here we go. Now I'm going to press that open as well. Just like that. There's your coffee handle, right? Now, with these blocks, I suggest that people put some coffee handles to the right, some to the left. It's whatever you feel that you want to do. None of it's lining up. None of it needs to line up on with the lines of the other piece that's been sewn. I'll show you here in a sec what I'm talking about. There we go. Just make sure everything is lined the right way. And I just flipped my seam. Oh, no, I didn't. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Now I'll just run this through. Just to save some time. So when I press this open now, because this is where my coffee cup is. Right? My coffee cup now will go on to here, right? So I'm going to just quickly press this open. And I didn't flip any of my seams. Hooray! There we go. And I got 3 seams and 2 seams. If you're only doing one of these blocks, it's nice to have a bunch of leader and ender projects beside you. But there we go. So I press this open. This is the last seam I press open because of all the bulk. I'm trying to distribute the bulk in behind as best I can. So that's what it looks like from the back, right? All of the pieces, all the seams are open, and there's where we're going to stop. Okay, I keep forgetting to do these little ones, so I just press over. I decide which one is darker, and then I press the dark, because that's how I'm pressing these. And I just quickly finger press them. So here's our coffee cup. Now we are going to do the most seams first. I'm going to lay this across. Oh, no, not this one. It's this one. It's this one. Do the top first. Okay, so now I'm going to line this all up and put this through. Oh, here we go. Yeah, perfectly lined up. Okay, and line it up on the other end. I love sewing with my mom's sewing machine. Oh my, this is the sewing machine I was taught how to sew on. And I'm just going to do this quick little hourglass piece here to roll it through. And then you match up you nest your seams on it. Okay. Now, with these outside pieces, all three of these, you just press out. You don't press in, you don't open your seams, you just press out. And you just kind of give it a little finger smushing. Now I always start with the one with the most seams, and I flip this over and I lay it on the bottom. This is where you want to make sure then all of your pieces lie the way they're supposed to. So here we go. And there we go. And we just keep pressing them open. Just keep them just a little bit open, and they'll slide under the foot. Not too much issue. There's so many seams here. It's kind of a godsend that you just press over, right? So okay, we've got 2 more seams to do, and then we have our block. So here we go. I'm going to just press this one, give it a quick little press with my fingernail. And then we're going to do the other side and put that one on the bottom. This will make sure that all our seams are going the right way. I find this easier, you know, especially if I have to have a bunch open, like this area here, just to put that area up top so I can see what's going on. Last seam coming up here real quick. There we go. And now we do the bottom. So I lay it across, flip it over, and now I'm just going to start it with my needle down, make sure it's all the right size. Yes, it is. If you have to ease on these blocks a bit, you know, just put the bigger piece of fabric on the bottom. You shouldn't have to ease too much, but, you know, in case you cut something a little long or whatever, you know, you make sure when you're cutting, you cut your pieces correctly. But if there is ease because the 1/4 inch seams are too wide or something, well, you know, then you just ease it in. It's a very forgiving little block. And now I'm just gonna give that one a little press open. There we go. And there we are. There's my cute little coffee cup block. Now I have other ones that I finished, and one of the things I'm going to talk to you about is making a mock-up. When you're making a block that you're not certain of as how it's going to go, I always make a mock-up. And this is why I end up with so many orphan blocks, because here is my mock-up of this block. Now, you see the handles here, they're squared off. They're not rounded like this one here, right? So when I made this mock-up, I was like, okay, how can I improve it? I'm going to round these corners as well, right? To give it a little more realistic look. And I've matched my points on my seams, and I've done that here as well, right? But it's really obvious when you're doing your mock-up because you're usually using solids or something that you wouldn't normally use in quilting. So here are my other blocks that I made. Well, this one, of course, was our demo. And I had to fussy cut this. It was just so cute. It was just, okay, there we go. I missed part of the strong coffee, but you get the idea. And then I have this coffee block, which I thought was kind of cute, black and yellow, against that, brown, an unexpected border. And then this, I decided, okay, since we had a white cup on the other one, the blocks either 1 and 2, we were going to make a black coffee cup. Now you'll also note that these handles are switched around. And this is the best part about this pattern, is that not all your coffee cups are all, facing right or all facing left. They're all over the place. Some are right, some are left. The little handles are all over the place. Don't be afraid to mix up your handles in the direction that they're going. So these are my blocks. And now this little piece that I cut off the bottom here, what I do is I pop open the seam, and it doesn't take much to pop open the seam. Just pull it apart, and it spins all of your seams, so you end up with a nice flat hourglass that you trim down to 2 inches. And I have a bag of these that I'm going to make into something one day, but this is what this is. This is just a cute little way of using up all my little bits. So, what do you think? Do you think these are cute? Do you think you're going to try this? I really do hope so. It would be lovely to have a sew-along where people are getting to know each other, and we're going to try and get a website or a Facebook group or something. We haven't figured out what we're going to do to get these people to post their blocks. This fabric is lovely. It goes really well with the fabric, because my fabric is these colors with the orange or the yellow. It just went lovely with the fabric, and I already had out of my stash. So we're having a lot of fun with this. So see you here back next week for block number 4. I just thought we'd show you all of the blocks we've made so far. Remember, you have to make 4 of each, right? So this is from our block 1, right? So we made a blackish coffee mug, and then we made a very bright one, bright and happy. And you'll see in a minute here, not all of the handles are going one way or the other. We also took some of the fabric that came in the jelly roll and used it as a background, just to break up all the unexpected color backgrounds. This is coffee mug number 2, and it's got the straight coffee mug. And of course we had to do a little fussy cutting, because when we have the opportunity to fussy cut, we're taking it. And then this cute little pop of colors. I really love this brown and dark brown, and then the brown and black prints are just gorgeous in here. And here is our little white coffee mug, because everybody's got a white coffee mug somewhere in their stash. And of course, then we put another bright one together. So now coffee mugs number 3, you just saw, and You know, this thing is coming together. It's going to look very eclectic and fun, and you know, it'll be good. And here's our little black one. So, and remember, if you're not sure about how something goes, don't be afraid to make a mock-up. A mock-up will save you time, energy, you know, fabric. You know, if you, especially if you're only dealing with a little bit of fabric, you're kind of like, well, I have to make sure every cut counts, every, you know, thread counts. So make your mock-ups out of your scraps. And if you make your mock-ups kind of a theme, you know, so much the better. One of my friends said from our guild, she said she makes a mock-up and she uses 30 reproduction fabrics. And at the end, when her bin gets really full, all the 30 reproduction fabrics go together. So she can just pick them out and sew them. And, you know, she's got a beautiful little quilt, a very eclectic, wonderful quilt. So this is where I think I'm kind of like, that's a really good idea. I might start doing that. Whether you pick Civil War or Brights or whatever, just pick something that you can sew your mock-ups on. Whether it be just strictly from your scraps. The mock-up does save you time and money and energy. So, and if there's any problems with the pattern that you don't quite get, please put it in the comments below. I'll be happy to explain it all to you. Okay, so see you again next week for block number 4. If you have questions about what you saw in this video, or you have ideas for content or something you want to see us do, please put those comments in the description below. But also, while you're there, like, share, and subscribe with your friends. That would really help us out. Okay, I want to thank you and have a great day.